What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I think we want to get started on the STI hatch. Got this car 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, a week ago. It's been a little bit, not very long, and we haven't really touched it yet. I mocked up the front bumper on it to see how well it would fit, try to get the wide body front bumper pieces onto that Voltex front bumper. They're gonna need quite a bit of work, but this thing needs a billion other things at the same time before we even think about doing front bumper stuff. If you watched yesterday's video, you'd know we got super close to finishing up the Evo 8. Entire undercarriage is pretty much buttoned up, and my gosh, this thing is so incredible looking. Very excited. We had an issue with our fuel filler neck. You see that little cut mark right there? Yeah, I did that and I forgot about it, and we went to go put E85 in it. All the fuel started leaking out. So I need to pull that fuel filler neck off. Shit. Nice. The car was leaking E85 overnight and the S2K was underneath it. We're gonna have some pretty nice smelling E85 seats in this thing. I think that's where it's leaking. Slight little leak on that drain bolt there. I'm gonna go tighten that up. If tightening it does not fix the leak, throw a new crush washer on, we should be good. Plug was loose, tighten it up, we should be good. What I was saying before I noticed that, I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the filler neck right now while the car is still up in the air, and then being that today is Sunday, there's nobody that can weld it or powder coat it because it's too big for our oven. So I'll just pull it off, and throughout next week, I'll get the thing finished up. We can throw this car back on the lift later on next week, and then this thing will be 100%. So let's go ahead, spend the freaking hour or whatever, and take the stupid filler neck off. This really disappoints me, but it's gotta be done. Definitely could be worse issues, not gonna lie. We got the filler neck off. It wasn't really a big deal. I think when you've had a long day, everything just seems like a big deal, but it took about 30 minutes, kind of a blessing in disguise. I remember putting this thing on, and there was some shielding right here that actually broke off as we were installing it. It's kind of hard to see. And even though you can't see that, I know it's there. So being that we have to completely strip and repowder coat this thing after it's welded, I'm excited because we can fix all this jankiness. And there is that little hole. Gotta get that fixed. Let's get the rear wheels on that car. That thing's gonna come out of the shop. We gotta pull that out, that out, move the Supra. STI is going on the lift, and we are gonna tear into this thing today. The power just went out at the shop, which is pretty sweet. I don't know if I forgot to pay my power bill or if that storm we had yesterday took out the power. Either way, a little bit of an inconvenience. So let's go check out the Evo outside. Been a minute since we had her out. This thing needs some really bad alignment things. It's sitting lower in the front, but the other front is sitting lower than this front. And then we also have to adjust, obviously, all the camber, do a full alignment on the car. But regardless, here's how she looks off the lift. And first look outside with the new wheels too. Oh, that's bright, sorry about that. Looks sick. All right, let's get the STI in the shop on the lift. Hopefully the power gets restored relatively quick. Not gonna lie, it's really hard to see when you can't see. I almost took out the Evo 10 with this janky ass STI. All right, we got some cars back in the shop. Power is still out. Did some research, customers affected, so I'm not the only one. 1567, it's currently 12:26 p.m. Estimated restoration time is at 4:30. 4 hours. We can't do anything. I would love to like at least get the car up in the air, but that requires power, and we don't have power. Sick. I guess what we can do is stuff that doesn't require power. Evo 10 needs new plugs. When we went to Leavenworth about a week ago, when we actually picked up the STI, we burnt a plug on the way out there, got a super bad misfire, went to O'Reilly's, all they had was auto lights, so we put auto lights in that car. NGKs just came in, so I'm gonna pull out the auto lights, throw them in the garbage, gap the NGKs, put the NGKs in, go rip the car, see if we still break up under boost. And then if we don't, we should be good. Head down, grab some E85, because 700 is a lot more fun than 550. New plugs are in. ILKR8E6 or ES, I believe is what the NGK iridiums are for the 10. I got them pretty tight. I go 018. I know it's a lot tighter than a lot of people want to run, but that's what I do. That's what we were tuned on, to be honest. And that's what she likes. So let's go for a rip. I'm guessing it's gonna be perfect under boost now. And then I wanna get this tank as low as possible, head down, fill back up on E85. I wish I could wash it because it's still dirty from the trip, but you can't wash it if you ain't got power. And the freaking power better turn on or all of our stuff in the fridge is gonna get warm. Our beer's gonna get warm. Nobody likes a warm blue moon. Went and washed my hands, walked out to go rip the 10, lights turned back on. So we're good now, but we don't do all that work on the 10 for nothing. Let's go see how she likes the new plugs. Fixed, everything as expected. If you guys want to pick these plugs up, I'll link them down in the description box below. Only plug I'd ever run on a 10. MAP is the plug. Literally, quite literally, the plug. The first look underneath the car is always fun. Let's grab a flashlight and see how she is. A little missing bolt, not a big deal. Valve cover leakage, typical Subi freaking leak. Not bad, honestly. I'm impressed. A little broken downpipe mount, not a big deal. Looks like it was broken before, and they did a little popcorn weld there. It's probably what my welds are gonna look like when I start welding. We have a wood screw coming through the floor. I don't know what that's all about. Anything else interesting? Not bad. Overall, I approve. I've seen much worse. One thing I did notice is there's like some Falcon tires on the back, R888s on the front. A little bit suspect. I don't see any signs of a previous wreck, which is cool. Interesting. Not bad at all. Today's mission is to pull the entire wide body off. I kind of just want to see what's going on underneath the kit, how they welded the rear fenders, if they did weld them, see if we can try and get it to fit a little bit better, because gaps are all over the place on this thing, and go from there. That is crazy. I don't know if there's supposed to be that much cut off. This is our front fender from here up. Everything down here completely lopped off. I'm gonna have to do some research online and see if that's how other people with the same kit do it. There's like some primer overspray back here, which is a little bit odd. Looks like the fender cut was done decently. It's not terrible. Nothing too cool, nothing too special underneath this front fender, except for I just gotta figure out if that's completely supposed to be lopped off. I did want to figure out why or how to get this section down here that connects to the skirt to fit better. So I'm gonna do some light mocking real quick and see what we can figure out. I honestly don't think there's much we can do. Some of this skirt probably shouldn't have been cut off, and it would look much cleaner if you didn't see that cut back there. But being that this over fender piece is now the new fender, so that creates this body line here, there's not a ton we can do to make it fit any better. It's not terrible. It's just the gap's a little bit big for my liking, so we'd have to kind of shift the whole fender back, maybe do a little bit of shaving. I don't know. I'll see how crazy I want to get with trying to fix this wide body kit up. Fronts are the least of my worries. The rear is what I'm really worried about, but let's go ahead and pull off the other front and see what's underneath that. See, this is how I figured it should look. Still the frame of the fender's there, so we have some structure up in here. As you can see, this one comes all the way down, still bolts on down there. I feel like that is how the other side should be. So I may grab another fender for that side. I guess we'll figure it out later on. Nothing too crazy going on underneath that front either. I just hope I can get this kit to fit better. Let's move on to the fun part. I know the driver's rear is gonna be the worst, but let's pull off this whole passenger rear right now and see if we can get everything back here to line up decent. We got the first rear fender off and nothing was actually welded up. They actually just fiberglassed it all, which I've never seen. I don't know if that leaks. I think it would be fine. That's very interesting. Never seen someone do that before. Comment below if you've done a wide body and instead of welding the seams, you just fiberglassed it together. All right, I know this one's gonna be the worst one based off of the Bondo that we found earlier. I'm kind of scared to pull this fender off because that's a little bit sus. Oh man, I think it might be time to go buy a welder. There's a lot of suspect things going on. Underneath this fender, we have, it appears, some other holes that we got a little sick piece of wrap on. Be nice to get those things welded up, to be honest. That's not even the best part. This is all Bondo right here. Bondo, 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 all the way down to here. I don't know why that's on there. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Very, very odd. I think I'm gonna try to start chipping that off with a chisel. And I wanna figure out why the hell that's on there, because it looks like complete shit and it should not be there. It also appears that they probably started putting this kit on and they're like, oh, we don't want it right there. We want it over here. That's my guess. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and rip this fiberglass off. This stuff is just peeling off. What a freaking mess, guys. Oh my gosh. They like tacked it together too. I don't know why you wouldn't just completely weld it, seam seal it, and be done. This shit is the freaking most janky thing I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit. Why? And then why would you Bondo over it too? All right, I found out what is going on and why they did what they did. I think at least. We may never know the real answer. So this piece right here on the wide body panel, as you can see, is kind of bent in. So it doesn't let this wide body fender sit where it needs to sit. It needs to sit a good quarter inch, half inch forward, 3/8 of an inch forward, down on the bottom. Stupid freaking massive gap right here. Looks like complete shit. So instead of doing it right, all you'd have to do, it'd be very, very simple. You could literally crack this, just bust this piece a little bit, right? Crack it, get it to sit flat, and then re-fiberglass the backside. It'd be very, very simple to do. And then you could get this wide body panel to sit where it needs to sit, which would be like right there. And then the door panel would sit nicely with the wide body panel. So it looks like they were trying to fill that gap in with fiberglass and with Bondo and whatnot, and it did not work. So we need to completely clean all of this up. There's like a 1/2 inch gap right here that needs to be welded shut. There's random holes. Not sure why they drilled those holes. So yeah, all this needs to be completely redone, both sides. I should probably buy a new front fender and redo the front. Pretty much everything that they did with this wide body needs to be redone. Let's go rip off the fiberglass on the passenger side. Hopefully it's not as bad underneath the fiberglass as the driver's side. Overall, disappointed, obviously, that we're gonna have to do a ton of work to get this kit to fit right. But let's look at the plus sides, all right? We have the wide body kit. Obviously, we cannot, I've seen that comment many times, are you gonna go back to a stock body? It's impossible to go back to a stock body, as you guys can see. So no, we're not going back to a stock body. So we have the kit. Overall, kit's in good shape. Overall, I love the kit, not gonna lie. I've seen other cars properly done, like properly fitted, got some nice wheels on it. I think the kit looks sick. More plus sides. The material is still here to work with. So we just need to fix everything up. I'll probably have to, like, that should be cut off flat. That right there, a recipe for disaster if your tire hits that, which if you compress the suspension enough, probably would. The material is still here. We can weld all this up, make it nice and pretty, get our seam sealed. Also need to trim that too. Wide body kit's good. We're gonna have to do a lot of rewrapping. I may do hidden hardware. There's a dude I follow that's building a Varus or a Varus FRS, and he did hidden hardware on it. I think his name's Derek, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, you put the bolt in here, so we'd have to rewrap all the panels, but I think it's kind of janky anyway. So you would peel the wrap off, put the bolt in there, panel bond the bolt into the wide body piece, and then you would fill over it, sand it smooth, so it would look like a molded kit, but you could still pull it off. There wouldn't be any hardware showing. Basically, there would just be a stud coming out the backside. I want to do that on the FRS, but I would much rather test it out on this janky ass STI. I think overall, when this car is done, it's going to be really, really nice. It's a decent car. Not super high, it's like 80,000 or 90,000 miles. It's still a clean title, and overall it's in good shape. It just needs a lot of like redos. Like, it needs a new life, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to give this thing a new life. First order of business, I need to buy a welder. So I think I might head home right now, do some research, try to find the nicest welder I can for the money. Like, I don't want to be spending 5K on a welder, maybe like 700, 800, 1,000 bucks maybe. Would be nice to get a TIG so I can weld aluminum. That'd be sick, or potentially titanium in the future as well. And then I think with a TIG you could do steel, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why you couldn't. So I need to buy a welder, get these fenders welded up, and then I should probably buy a new front fender as well, which kind of sucks. Hopefully that's not going to cost too much money, because this guy here, there's no structure to it. Completely floppy, not very cool. I know to you guys this car probably looks like a complete pile of shit. You may be right, you may be wrong, but I know at the end of the day, I have the skills to get this thing fixed. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna wrap up this video right here. I need to go buy a welder. Peace out, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow.